You ever look at your credit report and think, what happened?
Mm,
Well, our
all the
guest
time.
today, what'd you say, Reg?
I said all the time.
Oh my gosh. Our guest today knows that feeling just like we do. She had a credit score of above 800 and then life happened and it took a big hit.
Boy, I tell you. But here's the part that matters. She didn't stay there. She rolled up her sleeves, started rebuilding her credit, and even launched her own business in the process.
Okay. And now with help from Operation Hope, she's not just rebuilding her credit, she's scaling her business. Today, you'll hear how she turned a financial setback into a comeback and how you can do the same.
Yep, this is one of those transformative stories that reminds us that your credit score isn't your worth, it's just a starting point. So let's get into it.
Welcome back to another episode of the Wise Retirement Podcast. Today, we're speaking with a special guest who's going to talk about money, credit, and well-being. And she has a story that proves it's never too late to rebuild and rise up again. Hi, I'm Angela Kay.
And I'm Reginald Thornton. We're your host traveling with you on this financial journey. Harriet, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So do me a favor, or do us all a favor. Tell us a little bit about your business and what happened in your life before you got started. How you got to where you are.
So my business is Bank of Nutrition, and it's a nutrition coaching business, and I help individuals heal. So whether you're dealing with a chronic illness or chronic disease, or just want to seek better health, that's what I do. I coach on food and nutrition and dietary habits and lifestyle to get you healthy again. I've been a nutritionist for over 20 years. And so I just went back into doing nutrition per se and starting a business of my own. But 20 years ago, I worked as a nutritionist as a clinical dietitian in a hospital. And then I was the director of a nutrition program in the hospital. And then I relocated and started homeschooling my children. So I took a big break.
Yeah.
And now they're off to college. So I'm finding myself again. And here is my home.
Okay.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense because I will tell you, I snuck and looked at your site and I thought, oh, this is my kind of food. I'm feeling this.
Right. Take care of your body to take care of your mind and your money and your business.
Absolutely.
So, Harriet, it sounds like through this journey as a professional nutritionist, what sparked your interest in starting a business? Because we all have business ideas, but what inspired you to start your own nutrition business?
Thank you for that question. I started my business because I thought I knew enough about nutrition. I thought I was really versed at nutrition, and I thought there was something I could share. But that's why I started it. But now it's a little different. So now I see individuals who need help. And now it's more, they don't know about me. I need to make sure that I get my business in shape so that way I can help individuals, particularly professionals who make up majority of our workforce. So that's who I target, because when professionals are not able to perform, our economy suffers. And so that's really my motivation now, to make my business bigger and better.
To help people.
Yeah,
to help people.
Yeah, help people stay
Yes.
healthy.
Help people stay healthy. And I'm on a mission to help 3 million Americans like myself to stay healthy, get healthy, and stay healthy.
Goal-oriented. That makes sense. You mentioned that you were a nutritionist, and so talk to us a bit about how things got started for you at first. What were your early struggles, surprises?
In starting the business itself?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I don't have a business mind. And so when I saw that Operation Hope had a program that I could join, and this was free. So at that time, I didn't have any money at all to do anything. And so I decided I was going to join the program. I joined the program sometime earlier this year. So I've had my particular coach since maybe about April or thereabout. And so we've been working together ever since. And that's really why I decide, now I have the help. I have no excuse now to really
Right.
learn how to build a business, learn how to get my credit in check, learn how to manage my books, learn just the different parts of business that I didn't know that I could learn. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. I know, Harriet, we spoke earlier and you mentioned you came across John Hope Bryant's book, which inspired you,
yes,
right? Inspired
yes,
you. And now you're teaching your children what you're learning through Operation Hope's program, right? Could you just share a little bit about the book that inspired you
yes.
and how you're sharing it with your children?
Yes. So one of his first books speak about really just how to view money and see money as a vehicle per se. It's not the destination. And so I bought the book and I would teach my children. At the time, they were maybe 12, 13 years old. And so I would show them what's in the book because they would use me and say, you are not a business person. So I couldn't speak from my experience. So I would use John Hope Bryan's book to teach them and say, there is somebody who did it, and now he's doing this, and this is how he expanded. And so really, that's how I kind of teach them. It's very informal.
By example.
Right.
Yes,
Exactly.
by example.
Exactly. And so, given that bit of information and you deciding that you wanted to just jump into it now with the help of Operation Hope, was that the
Yes.
thing that sparked you to get the financial coach, or are these the steps that you have when you're dealing with the Operation Hope?
To get started in the business per se?
Yeah. So, so when you were thinking about the business,
Yes.
what what sparked you to say, okay, I've read this book. Now, do I need a financial coach? Do I go through Operation Hope to get the financial coach, like the coach? So, what is the thing that said, okay, I need this to get that?
Okay, so in 2016 was when I first heard about Operation Hope.
Okay.
And I would see John O'Brien on Facebook. And then at my son's school, I saw that someone from Operation Hope, I believe she was, her last name was Davis, Miss Davis. And someone from my son's school who was affiliated with Operation Hope. And I go, okay, I've seen this man
Right.
advocate about financial literacy. And so I went and I did the class. And that person, Miss Davis, she sat me down and she taught me how to read my credit report.
Mm-hmm.
She taught me the different lines, what they meant. And she really went over it. It took like an hour and a half just to scour I actually brought a copy of my credit report. And so she taught me that. And so at that time, my credit numbers were in the 600s, and it took about 3 years, and it went to 830.
Nice.
Following the steps that she outlined. So when I saw that Operation Hope at a coaching program, I said, if Miss Davis could help me, I believe these people can help me as well. So that's really prompted me to reach out to the coaching program because I know that they helped me previously.
Oh,
And really that's why I reached out.
yeah. 600 to 830. I need to write these.
Yeah.
I need to write this stuff down myself.
Well,
Yes.
it went down. It actually went down, and then it went down because I forgot to pay a bill, and then it went right back up to 820.
Wow.
And then it went down. So now I'm on the rise again.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that
So,
fluctuates anyway, but it sounds like you could go out and buy anything you want regardless.
yes.
At a good
Yes.
interest rate at
Right.
that.
Exactly, which
Yes.
is what's most important.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, Harriet, going from in the 600s to the 800s in your credit score is amazing. Congratulations on that. That's not easy to do.
Thank you.
So you're saying you were able to do that through Operations Hope steps. They kind of guided you through
Yes.
the 3-year process of
Yes.
improving it. Any nuggets you want to share on people who might be going through that same process of raising their credit score? Maybe some nuggets you can share on that process.
Be patient, because I felt like I needed to rush the process. So be patient and just follow the steps. I was given people, especially if you give me steps to take, I will take those steps. So if you find someone who teach you how to manage your credit and how to improve it, follow the steps. And, for me, it worked. And so what I did was follow the steps. I looked at the lines. I disputed 2 incidents, and that alone I was able to increase my numbers just by disputing those 2 things, because I told her, I don't recognize these things. So I was able to learn how to dispute things on my credit report. That was one thing I learned. Keep paying your bills on time. Even if it's a minimum. I don't like paying the minimum. And so in the past, I didn't have the money to pay what I wanted to pay. And so I would delay the payment and wait until I got what I felt like I wanted to pay and then pay it off. No, don't do that. Pay the minimum, and then when you feel like you have the rest of the money, then you can pay additional amount. So that helped me getting out of that old habit of paying it when I think I have what I want to pay it, and pay it on time. So that was the driver of really just pushing it up and up. And I didn't make any big purchases at the time.
Right.
So that also was one thing. And she taught me about not going over a third of my credit. Like, I don't, there's a name for it, but not going over a
Credit
third
usage.
of credit usage.
There it is.
And I stuck to that. That was extremely important in me in driving up my numbers to 830.
That's
So
nice.
those were the steps I took.
Yeah, man, I still, that's impressive. So you improved your credit score.
Yes.
Having this change in your credit, how did that help your confidence as it relates to the things that you wanted to do with business? Like, all of a sudden now you couldn't buy a stick of gum and now you can go buy a building. Like, how did that improve your confidence in the situation?
Oh my God. I like that you said confidence, because that's the first thing it impacted for me. As I saw it rising, my confidence was just growing with that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to do with my
Right,
credit.
right.
My confidence was just growing as my credit was growing. And what it did for me in business wise was I had not only the confidence and the courage, but I was able to go to the bank and I was able to get a business credit card. I couldn't get that before.
Right.
I couldn't get a business credit card, and I used my personal credit numbers to get my business credit card. So that was huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
that's definitely a good place to be when you no longer have to tap into your personal. You can create the business relationship, which is always good to have those separate.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm jotting these notes down, Harriet, because they're good tips. So you're saying, what I heard you say is you have new habits that you
Yes.
created in this process of learning about credit, learning how to build your credit, even having your credit dip and then go back up. So your new habits, would you say, what are those? What are the new habits now that's making the difference in your success?
Thank you for that question, because now I know I can get it back to 830.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is, of course, I'm paying my bills on time. And so I look at all my bills to see what date it's due. So I would I would gather them and see which one is due first. And I would use that date and a day before as my marker. So that's a new habit that I've developed. So I've never been able to miss that payment again, because now I know when my first bill is due and I start making sure that things are copacetic. So that's one new habit I have. Another one that I have developed over time is paying my bills twice a month. that instead of my numbers going up like 1 point, sometimes it would go up 1 point in the past, 2 points. Now it's jumping 14 points at a time. I didn't know that was possible. And so now I will pay my bills now on the 14th and on the 28th. Even if it's not due, I just pay a little on the 14th and a little on the 28th. And they jump like 13 points, 14 points, just leaps and bounds.
Even if you're
So
not
that's
paying, even if you're not paying a lot, you're breaking the payment up and doing it twice a
yes,
month, and it's
yes,
jumping like that.
Oh, wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes. I'm not
Wow.
even paying it off. I'm not even paying it off. I'm just paying a little bit. Sometimes I just pay half of it. By the due date, I make sure that whatever is due is fully paid. But I just jump in and I'll just pay $20 just because I want to establish paying twice a month. And that just speeds up the credit score even quicker. So that's a new habit I've developed. Another thing I've developed is, well, that's not a new habit. I just make twice I missed payments. So now that is something that I won't be missing. So like I say, I look at my earliest bill payment and the day before I make sure that everything is on time. So that's a new habit that I developed, just to make sure that I don't miss a payment as well. So those two, it sounds simple, but it's just really massive when it comes to my credit and movement.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, you've developed those new habits, and I can imagine what you do day to day as it relates to spending money has changed as well. You may not be as reckless as you may have been in your past, but how how is how is the thought process related to managing money for you day to day?
So managing money, I've always been a really good, careful spender. So my thing was really, how do I understand, the usage, credit usage, and the technical things behind the scene. So that's what I use to really drive my day-to-day spending. So now what I do is, because now I have a business credit card. Prior to that, it was so hard to buy things for the business.
Because you were
I
managing.
couldn't, yes, and I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't afford it. So now I have a business credit card. I use my business credit card for everything business.
Right.
So that's in itself is powerful for me. And now I pay the business credit card. So my day-to-day spending doesn't take a lot of my mind and my mental, there's no mental gymnastics going on.
Right.
Where am I going to get the money to do that? No mental gymnastics. Now I just use my business credit card, and then that's the only bill I pay. So it really has streamlined my, in terms of day-to-day, extremely streamlined now.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that's so, Harriet, in terms of the business credit card, what made you go
Yes.
after that and in this journey of your business?
My coach, my Operation Hope coach. I did not have the confidence to walk into a bank and say, I want a business credit card. And she said to me, why don't you get a business credit card? I said, I don't think I can get one. She said, who told you that? I go, I don't know. My business is too new. She said, let me dig in. So I shared my personal credit score, and she go, girl, to make an appointment today. And so I made an appointment, and that day she said, make sure you get a business
EIN,
savings account.
savings account.
She helped me to establish the EIN. She said, get a business savings account, checking account, and the credit card. And I went into the bank and I got all three. It's like, I didn't believe that I could get it. So when I went, I couldn't wait to talk to her the next time. So she really was the one who prompted me to go out and establish and get a DUNS number, like a Dun and Bradstreet number. Like,
Right.
she just taught me all of that and just put me in the loop of what it takes to be a business person.
Nice.
So
Nice. Yeah. Well, that is encouraging to a lot of people, and if people are watching and thinking of rebuilding their credit, they should drop a comment and, let us know how it's going with them reaching their goal related to this, because
Mhm.
That's good. It's always good to have people to guide you along the way, particularly when we don't know
Yes.
things. Sometimes we think we know, but we don't.
Yeah.
So it's good to
Yeah.
hear that you keep the advice of your coach.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, Reg. And then like what one piece of advice would you give someone trying to rebuild right now? Many of us have taken hits with our credit.
Yeah.
And we're not
One
ready to start.
Yeah, one advice I would give is, first of all, be patient. I didn't have the confidence. Develop the confidence. If you have to speak to someone who you think, buy books so you can develop that confidence and seek advice. Like if you don't know a particular topic, I didn't know financial literacy so much. So I knew nutrition like the back of my hand.
Mhm.
So for me, seeking advice and seeking a coach was instrumental in developing good financial literacy, good financial habits. So for me, it was the confidence, reading books to get the confidence, connecting with a coach to get the confidence. So those two are the main things for me.
It makes sense. So here's the question I like to ask people as they're learning things. You've
Yes.
been through Operation Hope, financial coach. You've had the ups and downs of credit.
Mm.
What would you tell your younger self?
Oh my God. I would tell my younger self that it's going to be okay. I was so anxiety ridden. And every time the numbers would drop before my coach, I would just fall into an anxiety
Mm.
because I didn't really know how to do it. So everything that didn't go my way, I'd fall into an anxiety. I would tell my younger self,
Mm.
relax, seek help where you need help, relax, breathe, and it's going to be okay. Because life is about messing up and learning from the mess.
Learning from the mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Learning. I think I've learned a lot about your business, nutrition, and and then how you rebuilt yourself. And now, do you still teach your kids about financial literacy? You guys have
Oh,
that
yes.
conversations still?
Oh, yes. They don't listen to me as much because they're newly minted 18-year-olds.
Okay.
And they don't think I know as much because they see my journey where I'm learning and messing up and jumping back. The good thing is, my son said to me the other day, "Mommy, you know that you're successful? You're successful." And
Oh,
let me tell you, it was a big deal for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was the biggest compliment I got all year.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're successful," because he sees me trying. And I love that he said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine having an 18-year-old compliment me because, they know everything. So,
Thank you very much.
That part. At least they think they do, right?
right, exactly.
Yes,
So,
right.
let's see if I can recap what I've learned from you, Harriet, today
Yes.
in terms of credit, which we want to help people rebuild their credit, eh, because you see how much you can do with it, so much.
Yes.
I would say number one, go ahead and pull your credit, look at every line item. Number two,
Yes.
look for any disputes on your credit report that you can go back to the credit reporting agency and say, hey, this isn't correct. That'll bump up your
Yes.
credit. Number three, pay your bills on time. You
And
don't
one
know
time.
Yes.
that will just inch up your credit little by little, and every little bit helps. And then
Yes.
I would say, pay the minimums. If that's all you have, just pay those minimums. Not a problem at all. And then not going over one third of your usage
Yes.
is another thing. And then, one tip that I learned today from you, Harriet, is pay your bills twice a month, and it will not shoot your credit up inches, but maybe even, yards in terms,
Yes.
um, uh, you know, score wise. So paying your bills twice a month, that's a trick I didn't know about. Thank you for teaching us about that.
You're welcome. I learned that just by just reading and looking at different things.
Right. You got to be hungry for the info. And that's what this
Yeah.
show is all about. It's about sharing people's story, your journey. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Harriet. We really appreciate you today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, with all the information that you've shared with us and all the tips and tricks, and I ask you, what would you tell your younger self? Now, what would you tell others would be the one thing if you were having a conversation and you can only tell them one thing to do, what would it be?
Be patient, and if you don't know an area, seek advice or help. It speeds up the learning process.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And if our community can reach out to you and connect with you, how should they reach you?
I am at bankofnutrition.com or bankofnutrition.org. And you can leave a message. You can just chat. I love to have chats about nutrition and where the public health nutrition is going. So reach out or just do a discovery call to ask me any question. I love talking about nutrition and sharing my thoughts.
Nice. Well,
So-
any last words of encouragement?
Yes. Know that you have everything you have to be successful. I heard it one time and I didn't believe it. But know that you have everything you need to be successful. You have everything you need to be successful. And so my coach just pulled it out of me, but I had it in me. And so she helped pull it out.
Yes.
Yes.
We need that.
Yes.
Well, that is the end of today's episode. Join us next week, where we're diving into the specific steps to improve your credit and money management skills with an Operation Hope financial coach. So to piggyback on this conversation today with Harriet, let's go ahead and join us next week.
Absolutely. We hope you enjoyed the show. If this helped you, hit subscribe on YouTube so you'll never, ever miss a show. And hit like, share, comment below so that you can learn too.
Yep. So if you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email at angela@thewiseretirement.com, and we might get a question or an answer on one of the shows.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. Thank you, Harriet, so much. I'm Reg.
And I'm Angela Kay, reminding you we're in this journey together. Until next time, take care.
Welcome to the ride.